cats and kittens, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of the MonkeyBoy Presents the DC Comics Superhero Collection by Eaglemoss. And today I'm very excited to bring you the 7th special edition figure in the line, Batman and the Batcycle. And the key word for today when we're looking at this figure is unique. Pretty much everything about this one is unique. First and foremost would be the magazine. As you can see in the corner, we have for the very first time the name of the figure. It says Batman and Batcycle there in the corner. None of the other special edition figures have had their name anywhere on the cover, so that's a first. Also, real quick, as usual with the special editions, the packaging is unique, so we'll take a quick look at that. As you can see, it's much larger and oddly shaped than the others because, of course, it has to accommodate not just Batman, but him riding on top of the Batcycle. So it's a much bigger package than usual. It has the Superhero Collection logo along with the stamp of approval, and on the side of the packaging, the artwork is unique. As you can see on the one side, it has the front end of the Batcycle along with the name of the figure, and on the other side, it has the tail end of the Batcycle along with the name of the figure, which is unique again because all the other special editions, the artwork has been the same on both the left and right sides. And just so you can see, here it is next to the regular packaging for the normal issues in the line. You can see just how much bigger and more oblong it is than normal. And it's also cool because it has a little picture window when you take that slipcase off. So if you wanted to display this figure in the box, it's very easy to do, and it looks pretty nice actually, a nice little picture window. Anyway, this magazine is very unique because unlike the regular issues in the line, there's no character to look at necessarily, so the character section is devoted to the different vehicles that Batman has had. Also unique for this issue is it doesn't exactly have the same order. We have 2 original thinking sections, and the classics section, instead of featuring comic books, features some of the classic vehicles that Batman has had. But of course, we'll cover all of that when we look at the magazine itself, which will tell us pretty much everything we need to know about the Batcycle, as well as some of the other Bat vehicles that Batman has had. It also talks a little bit about Alfred, as well as some of the other characters in the DCU and their vehicles. And then we will look at the figure itself, covering the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's a really nice figure overall. There are very few things to complain about it. I do have some issues, but not so much dealing with the figure. We'll cover, of course, all of that very shortly. Please sit back, relax, enjoy the 7th special edition in the DC Comics Superhero Collection by Eaglemoss, Batman and the Batcycle. First up, the iconography section. And the first couple pages in this section talk, of course, about the Batcycle and how, for Batman, it's an extremely practical vehicle for him to use, especially when he's going out on solo missions without the Boy Wonder by his side. It also mentions how a motorcycle is the vehicle of choice for other members of the Bat family. The next couple pages talk about the Batmobile. We learn, of course, that there have been multiple Batmobiles over the years, with Bruce constantly improving and redesigning it over and over and over again, always keeping it a very closely guarded secret when he does. We learn all about the different features that the different Batmobiles have had, including defensive measures in case anyone should try to steal the Batmobile, bulletproofing, some of them have the ability to leap across rooftops with jet propulsion, and some even have the ability to travel stealthily without making any sort of noise or even refracting light. The next couple pages talk about the Batboat and Batplane. It talks about the few different versions of the Batboat that Batman has had, and how his most recent interpretation of the boat allows him to travel beneath the waves as well as above. It also features a really awesome cross-section of the current Batboat. We also find the Batplane, which is sometimes referred to as the Batwing, and we see a few different variations on this jet. The last couple pages focus on Alfred as well as the Batcave itself. We learn that Alfred Pennyworth is far more than just a simple butler to Bruce Wayne. In addition to being an accomplished field medic and former special agent for the British Secret Service, he is also an accomplished engineer and mechanic who helps Bruce maintain most of the vehicles in the Batcave. We also get a really cool illustration of the automated garage in the Batcave that features a number of different Batmobiles. Next up, we have the Classics section, which features some of the retro rides that Batman has had. And this section is exactly that. It features all of the classic vehicles that Batman has had. We get to see the very first Batmobile, which was nothing more than a supercharged red roadster. We also see that Batman keeps most of the Batmobiles tucked away in a special area of the Batcave. This section also features a quick shot of the 1960s Batmobile, which was featured prominently on the Super Friends cartoon show. We also get to look at the very first incarnation of the Batplane, which was really more like a Batcopter. Also, there was a period of time in the 1950s and 60s when Batman and Robin traveled the galaxy in a space shuttle that they built. Next up, we have the first part of the original thinking section, which features a 3-page long quiz that you can take at home, entitled, "Are You a Bat Mastermind?" Friends Info section of this magazine is also unique and features other heroes in the DCU and their vehicles. First, we have the Green Arrow with one of his many motorcycles. A group of heroes from New Genesis known as the Forever People aboard their Super Cycle. When Timothy Drake became the third Robin, Batman gave him his own vehicle called the Redbird. While former Robin Dick Grayson, now known as Nightwing, prefers to use a motorized Bat Glider. We also look at the Vigilante known simply as Vigilante and his souped-up motorcycle. The intergalactic bounty hunter Lobo aboard his customized Space Hog. The Black Canary, who prefers to use tricked-out motorcycles when she's fighting crime. And finally, the Huntress aboard a borrowed Batcycle that she has since customized to make her own. And lastly, the second part of the original thinking section features the answers to the quiz in the first part, as well as a key to check your Bat rating.
This ain't no place for no better man. This ain't no place for no hero who come home. This ain't no place for no hero. This ain't no place for no better man. This ain't no place for no hero who come home.
Here we have Batman and the Batcycle, and while I do have some complaints about this special edition figure, overall I really am happy with it. Yes, it's another Batman figure, however, it's a very unique Batman figure. As I've said over and over again, everything about this is unique, and that includes, as you can see, the base of this figure, which is a big oval this time to accommodate the entire bike. But overall, I'm really happy with it as far as just taking it as a figure is concerned. Love the metallic blue of the motorcycle, the soft blue for the windshield. You can see, if you look at it from right angle, it sort of looks like a bat symbol, which is the intention. Pretty cool. Down to the treads of the tires on the front and the back. There are little bat symbols in the treads that they've worked in, which is a great touch. Love the little headlights, although I would have preferred a slightly different design to those headlights, something on a more angular kind of look and longer. I'm not too crazy about those little dots, but at least there's something there. I love how Batman's riding it, how it's hanging a corner, the way it's on its side that way. The wheels, the spokes of the wheels are different and unique, front and back. The back looks sort of like a Batwing kind of style, and the front is just a simple, 3 spokes. Love the bat symbols on the center of the wheels. And everything on the bike, really nice lines. It's really slick looking. It looks like it would just cut through the air. And Batman looks great. It's exactly like the Batman from the first issue, the same color scheme. You can see it's got a nice glossy black on the underside of the cape and the boots and his underoos and his gloves, but then the top of the cape and his cowl are both that nice flat black. Love how he's dragging the Batarang alongside him with that spark. It's taken right out of the artwork, out of the comic books, with some liberties here and there. If you go back and look at the magazine section, it is actually pictured in there. And Batman looks great. As I said, he's got a really nice look on his face, great details on him. Love how he's leaning. Overall, I really do like it. There are issues I have with it that I'll address in the next section here. But it's a really cool figure to have, especially if you're a Batman fan, because as I said, his gadgets and his vehicles are some of the most fun. Better pictures in just a moment. Batman and his Batcycle sit atop the classic DC logo, and the underside of the base features the figure's name in multiple languages along with serial number. And a quick side-by-side with the very first issue Batman, so you can see that this figure is indeed to size and scale with the rest of the figures in the line. The Batcycle is a wonderful addition to the line as far as I'm concerned. There are some issues that I have with it, but nothing that has to do with the figure itself. Overall, it's very impressive. My issues have to do with the motivations behind this figure more than anything else. We'll start, of course, with the good. I really like pretty much everything about this figure when I take the figure as a whole. It's a beautiful sculpt, mold, paint, application. Everything about this thing is great. The scale is spot on. It's exactly as it should be. The front of this is great. I love the windshield and the entire sculpt, how it looks like a bat symbol. I love the front wheel design. You can see everything on it is very nicely done. Clean edges, nice round aerodynamic form to the motorcycle itself. The headlights I have a little bit of an issue with, but I'm glad that they included them even if they are those little circles. The front tire, I love the fact that they have the tread. You can see the bat symbol treads on the tires, which I think is really, really outstanding. The paint job is great. It's this nice blue metallic that is really well done. There are bat symbols on every hub, on both wheels, front and back, on both sides. Love the handlebars, love the body of the bike, how you can see paneling. They actually took the time to detail panels and things on the sides of the bike just to show that it's multiple pieces all put together like a motorcycle, any sort of mechanical vehicle would be. I like how his feet are on the spokes of the bike. The wheels are unique. The front and back are both different. The front one just has that sort of triad little, formation, nothing fancy about it, and the back is like a sort of winged look. You can see there's even sort of an edge to it. It looks really nice, and just again, so you can see how small this is and how beautifully detailed it is. Here's a shot of those bat logos, which are hand painted, by the way, next to the eraser on a standard number 2 pencil. So just think about that when you're looking at this, how small this figure really is. Love the rear end, the tailpipes, the fin down the center, the tail light is an actual translucent red plastic, so it looks like a plastic tail light, which I think is great. Also, the rear tire has the bat tread as well. Just every little thing about this is fantastic. Again, all the design down the side, you can see the bat symbols are on this side. I love the seat that he's on. The handlebars are really great. The throttle, the brakes. You can see they even detailed the panel where the gauges and things would be, and there's a little bat sort of logo incorporated into that. And again, it's that nice blue metallic paint all the way through. Really, really outstanding. And of course, one of the coolest things on the figure is the batarang and how he's dragging it alongside of him, and it's sparking along the ground, and you can see they even have a line cutting into the base. I didn't do that, that's how it came. There's a line cutting into the base where he's dragging the batarang, which I think is great. And as I said, the Batman figure itself is really cool. Love how the cape is billowing out behind him. It's very dramatic. It's very cool looking. Gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just a dynamic looking pose, how he's leaning with the bike and just looking really, really awesome as he's charging down the road. The bad nitpicks first, the headlights, not really crazy about. They're just these tiny little dots. I would have preferred a bigger headlight, maybe with a more diagonal kind of edge to it, just to make it look meaner and more wicked, but at least there are headlights, I guess. Other nitpick is the windshield. I wish it was a clear translucent plastic, like the taillight is a red plastic. This would have been cool to have a clear plastic on the front for that windshield. Just a nitpick, as I said. The only other major criticism I have of the figure is the figure on the whole. It seems redundant to have another Batman. Yes, it's great looking. Yes, it's dynamic. Yes, it's really cool having a Batcycle. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I'm a huge Batman fan. But I would have preferred another big villain like maybe Calabac. So that's sort of my major criticism of this figure. The Ugly. Gotta watch out for his cape. It's very fragile. You do not want to pick it up by that because the cape is made of resin, actually. It is not lead. So if you try to pick it up, the weight of the rest of the figure will make it pop right off and his head will come with him. The only other major fragile spot on the figure is that batarang. Again, don't pick it up by that or it'll pop off. Otherwise, really, really great looking figure. Overall, I do dig it. Don't get me wrong. I love it. He's fantastic. It's dynamic. It's awesome looking. He looks like he's racing down the streets of Gotham chasing after someone. And it's to scale, which I think is great. And as a Batman fan, I really, really do love it. But as a critic, it's sort of redundant, as I said, and I would have liked another big hero or villain in its place, especially with the line coming to an end now. It just seems like a missed opportunity in retrospect. But I do love this figure. If you're a Batman fan, recommend picking it up. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this review of the Batcycle with Batman. Stay tuned for a quick teaser trailer of the next figure in the line. We're going back to the regular editions with issue 55. It's another hero, another member of the Green Lantern Corps, and another member of the Justice League, so stay tuned for that. As always, I'm your host, the Monkey Boy, aka Jay to his friends. Thanks for watching.